live on Haps, just about to start even ShineCast. Do join us, please do. Why not? And if you'd like to share, like, and follow, that will be good. But definitely, if you want to have a chat, you can also join the chat as well, as I just finalise before we actually start. And Jimmy's with us. Hi, Jimmy.
Hey, good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
Absolutely. Now, if you see on here, remember, I'm with us. And that means that because I've done that, if hang on, we've got to press this button here, or I've got the techno right now. Because I've invited myself on my mobile digital device, I can do that, and that looks good. Excellent stuff. And then if I go back in there, because I was part of the broadcast, if I head over to my profile, I should still be live, which I am with you right now on our profile. Testing 1, 2, 3, and I think it's working. It's worrying me that it's working. Still be live, which I am. Yes, great, lovely.
Okay.
All right, we can do this very shortly. In seconds, we'll hit the magic button. That's dear. Very, very frightening sometimes, this stuff when it works. All right, Jimmy.
You ready?
Yeah. Hey, you're technical up for today, I understand. So, yeah, who's joining us at the moment? Let's have a look. Is there anyone waking up in the United States of America? Possibly, possibly not. But hey, we're here. Ready when you are, sir.
Okay, let's start the program. 3, 2, 1. Hey, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. How you doing, Martin, in London?
Hey, hello, Jimmy. Thanks for introducing me to our broadcast here at ShineCast.
Yes. So how are you doing today? Lovely Friday afternoon for you?
It's good. It's good. It's been very cold in London the last week. Yeah, the snow's been with us. It's pretty much melted away now. Still, though, very cold, as I say. And Scotland's had some seriously cold temperatures. It's much further north than where I am in London in the southeast. But yeah, definitely that part of Great Britain and the United Kingdom, well, they've been shivering somewhat in some double minus figures that they haven't seen for like a decade or so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so cold here. I mean, well, I know I can't really say anything because I don't leave the house. I'm always home. I'm continuously home, so I'm never out enough to see if it's cold.
Isn't that concerning? You know, you are working on your own from home, and you can sort of, well, schedule say a lunch break or just any type of break at any point that you know that you can. Well, obviously you've got to fit it in around your work, but in general you can fit something in. But often you never do. You just stay there, have something to eat, or even do some of your own work online, still in front of the screen until it's time to continue your work in front of the screen.
True. Well, the thing is that I do go out shopping, so that's about it. So it's a very short, like an hour period during the day. If I might go out to the supermarket or something, and that's it. So I'm actually I have adapted very well to this Corona COVID-19 situation.
Right. Well, the thing is, the local shops and stores for me, they're literally seconds away, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing because certainly again in the cold weather it's good. You just have to go out to buy some food or essentials, which I hasten to add at the moment you can only do. It's only essential shopping while we still have the current lockdown in place in London. But frighteningly, last Saturday. The day after our last broadcast, of course, it was shocking in the high street. It was as though everyone said, well, it's, I mean, you've got to be sensible. But in the streets, they weren't wearing masks at all, but really close together, drinking coffee. And I was somewhat concerned to see the numbers of people out. But then suddenly, after the Saturday, it was like a lot of people had said, oh, it's Saturday, it's the weekend, we're going out shopping and having a good time like you used to do before the coronavirus situation. So I wonder if it's going to happen again this weekend, tomorrow, because it's Friday, 12th of February, 2021. As I say that, Jimmy, you seem to have disappeared from our broadcast. In fact, ironically, this is sometimes what's happened with myself on these broadcasts. Now, I'm not going to go into all the technicalities for those of you watching right now, but it's very
Hello.
strange.
Hey, we lost connection.
You
I
did.
can't hear you.
You did. And I'm saying here on this broadcast that on this occasion, I think it was you that was booted out, and it was a problem you'll certainly see back on the replay when you watch it. But I continued, and this is the thing I was just about to explain to viewers, without going too much into the technology. Usually, right, you're producing a program in a studio with multiple cameras, multiple presenters, and then the feed leaves the studio and heads out to the world. So if the feed going out cuts off, they lose everything. But because the way this technology works, which is it's kind of being produced in the cloud, right? So Jimmy's signal and my signal, they're not going to the same kind of control room physically, other than in the cloud. So that means that if one of us loses connection, the other one doesn't necessarily do so. And that's exactly what just happened there with Jimmy on the screen. So it can be a bit disconcerting if you're sort of new to this sort of stuff. By the way, Facebook users, hello to you. It's good. It was just good in here. And so what? Hey, what's going on here? I think we've missed a few early comments. Hi, Martin and Jimmy from Elliott Man in Wisconsin, USA. Hello to you, Elliott. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're well and hope you're still there. Hang on a second. Let's get back to that glass, Jimmy. It's Friday night in Japan, you see, almost tomorrow. In 11 minutes' time for Jimmy, it'll be Saturday because he's way ahead of us when we have these broadcasts. Japan, certainly where Jimmy is 9 hours ahead of my local time, 11 minutes to 3 p.m. And yeah, it's kind of strange that. And Elliot's another 6 hours behind me, because he's on Central Standard Time Zone in Wisconsin. And of course you have people all over the planet joining us at different hours, even though it's at the same time when we're live. It's kind of crazy that, right? You've got to be mindful of all this stuff. We can't just say, hello everyone, and welcome to the show. It's a good day here, because it might be nighttime there, and it's probably a different season by the time someone watches the replay in 3 years' time. Just
3 years time, yeah. Well, anyway, so what's the deal? Is everything shut down still? What's the deal? Like in Japan, it's like all the restaurants have to close at 8. Well, and a lot of Japan, that's what Elliot's asking. Yeah, it's not completely shut down. I think we have it a lot easier here than, like, let's say in Europe or in America, obviously, because people, I guess, are a little more respectful to each other. And they are they already wear masks even before the COVID situation. They were wearing masks during the winter.
That was the culture. Do you know the funny thing is, Jimmy? It's strange that we're slowly coming to sort of terms with the COVID-19 in some ways. In as much as I said before, you asked me moments ago, what is it like? Are we still on lockdown? Well, this is what I was saying. Last Saturday, I was very shocked because we're still technically and officially, the rules are we're on a lockdown in most of England. And when I went out, the local high street was so busy. Children, families. I tell you, the worst thing actually was the children playing in the park on the apparatus, on the swings and the slides. So you've got all these various families standing around having a chat right close to each other in their faces, as you do in a little group there, while your child is playing in the park and mixing with other children. And it's as though there was nothing to be spread. But I think we're coming to terms in the sense that, now we have our masks. It's not so questionable now. When you look at someone in the street or in a store and you see they have a mask on, before it was a bit alien to us. And yet we've always seen over in China, Japan, when we've seen, for whatever reason,
Taiwan, other places like that,
Taiwan, all those far Eastern Asian countries have worn masks a lot, and we've always almost laughed at people thinking, what are you doing that for? It's not that dirty there. People aren't that contagious. But ironically, when we now think about it, just because it doesn't affect us so much at our age, middle age, younger age, there are elderly people where flu has always been a potential killer for them, and still is in the winter particularly. So people, now it's a case of, all ages can be and are affected by this new virus, Corona 19. So we're all having to take precautions.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing in Asia, I guess. especially in the crowded areas in the city, reason they wear the mask is during the winter is because of the flu season or the cold season. So if they're in close proximity, not only that they won't catch it, but they won't give it to somebody else, even if they have to go to work and they have a cold. So yeah, that's why they're wearing masks. It's funny that one of my family members returned to Europe. Was it in October?
Mhm.
Coming from Japan, went back to Europe and wearing a mask. And so everybody would look at them and go, "Oh, Corona." They would say, "Oh, that person has Corona." It's like, which is completely the opposite thing. So it's just not, they're not used to it. In America, I think we talked about it before. In America, if you wanted to buy a mask, I don't think, maybe they might have sold it at the drugstore, but I've never seen it or I've never looked for it. So when I think a face mask, I'm thinking hardware store. I'm doing
Right.
woodwork. I'm painting something. So
Well, they're selling them pretty much everywhere now, and it's ironic because you see people trying to go to the grocery store, supermarket locally, and now they've toughened up and tightened up on people that can enter the store. The big names in our local high streets, main streets, they're saying if you don't have a mask, you can't come in. But ironically, some people want to go in there to buy a mask. So what I haven't seen yet is masks being given out or sold at the door by that person who says you can't come in without a mask. Is a sensible thing, just common sense. If they're going to turn you away because you don't have one, give you the opportunity to buy one right there and then for $1, for £1.
that's true. That's true.
Maybe
And
currency.
I don't know how the news is in where you are, but so recently they've before it was there was a lack of surgical masks, and then it became a big production where people were making cloth masks, which are
That's right.
fine,
Face coverings. Face
face
coverings are
coverings.
being,
So
yeah, yeah.
now they're going back and saying, okay, well, the face covering is good if you're not in a crowded area, but you got to wear, was it a mask, a little bit of a mask? And now they're saying, well, not the cloth mask or the face covering, but actual surgical masks are a lot better. So now we're switching back to that, and now they're available, so you can buy them now a lot easier. And now recently they have been talking about, and this can only happen in winter because there's no way that you can do this in the summer, is over the surgical mask to wear another cloth mask, and then you're going to black out even more, which seems logical, but it's like that's an impossibility
Well, I tell you one thing that
in the summer, especially.
was really a bit of, well, I found it not such a surprise, but I didn't know they made them like this. But someone had a mask, one of these fancy ones with some sort of pattern on it, a cloth one, and when you ripped it open, inside it was a regular surgical sort of covering, so that's what made this cloth one guaranteed to be safe to wear and protect you, you see. So yeah, that's how the makers have made it,
It's
for
big
sure.
business now. There's was it I'm seeing there's mask stores now shooting up everywhere.
Yeah, well, opportunity to make a buck or two, that's what people will do. Speaking of,
Have you seen these latest masks? I have to throw this in here. These LED masks.
no,
Well, they're
no.
LED masks with different colors, or you can get them in here. I'm going to share this. Let me share this screen
I'm going to
here.
share your screen. Oh, I see something happening there just behind the scenes, and an LED mask. Interesting stuff. I'm into my electronics, but I haven't seen such a thing yet. Okay, right.
So what you can do is you can control this on your smartphone here.
Uh,
You can write stuff on it and control it on your smartphone.
okay, so I was going to ask you. Yeah, it's not literally letters that are pre-made kind of thing, or a sentence or words, and they just light up. But you can actually, it's like a matrix, and you can put your own letters, choose the letters, a bit like one of these LED signs that crawls along, a crawler sign.
How about these
Yeah.
glow in the dark ones?
Well, we have someone out there watching on Facebook who's bought one.
I
Apparently,
bought
as
an
you can see on the
LED,
screen.
still
Yeah.
haven't used it. Okay, well, yeah, I was actually thinking about it too myself. It is
There's
kind
a
of
place you just reminded me about, but once again, LED masks, socializing. It's the sort of thing you might have in a club or something. I say that ironically in a nightclub because, of course, that's the whole thing. Nightclubs, for the time being, certainly in England, they've shut down for a long time now. They have been closed since the beginning of the pandemic. And again, nothing's being said about it. It's almost like we've been without nightclubs and bars and, to a degree, pubs for so long now that, well, I say the government have what they want is just kind of to not have the urge and the desire. Everyone's not shouting out yet, screaming, we must have them back. We've gotten used to it now over such a long time of not being allowed to be there and frequent these places. And the thing is, I was going to come on to the fact that the Isle of Man is a place in the northwest of England, just off the coast. And as the name suggests, it is an island. It's not part of Great Britain. It has its own independent governing body there. And they don't have a lockdown. I saw pictures in the last 24 hours of the local bars there, pubs there, the streets. People, it's like nothing's happened. The reason is...
What's the population?
I can't recall the population of the Isle of Man, but the point I'm making is that they had a total lockdown for a handful of weeks. A couple of those lockdowns they had to have, but because it's pretty much like New Zealand, they've when they've announced the lockdown, people have listened, people have understood. So the kind of it's like a short-term pain for long-term gain.
84,000, 84 to
Right.
85,000 people, population.
Right. Yeah. I think we should. Was this sell oxygen masks? Elliot says. Yeah, maybe.
Well, they do sell oxygen masks.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, hold on. I want to introduce something that I recently got.
Pulse
oximeter. Right. So what this is it checks the oxygen level in your blood, and it also checks your pulse. And I guess if it goes under 90 or 88, that you are in trouble, that you need to go with the doctor. And they usually and actually your oxygen level should be about 95 to 100, and mine is quite low. Right. I think mine fluctuates between 94 and 96, sometimes 93, 97. What is this? 90. 80, okay, that's was it 89? That's very bad. I'm dying here. So let's it's actually not, it came back to 95 now. So it's 95 now. So that's that's a decent level, but usually most people have it between 95 and 100. And mine average is a little bit lower because I used to smoke, and I smoked for decades. I only quit about 3 years ago, so I think it's going to take a few more years for my oxygen level in my blood to be at a normal level, which is 97, 98. Yeah, regular.
Yeah.
And it checks your pulse too. So they suggest that you have these because sometimes you won't notice how low your oxygen level. You'll think you'll be functioning normally, but your oxygen level will lower or was it decrease. So I'm checking every once in a while.
If your oxygen level's low, I guess you get quite a bit of fatigue and lethargy kicking in.
I have that anyway.
Right. And of course, that glass that you have there of
it's empty.
Juice.
God.
Yeah.
I'm having a problem because I wanted to open a bottle of Chianti and I cannot find my bottle opener. What the hell is going on?
It's going to last longer, Jimmy, that way. Just look on the positive side.
Yeah, I know, but
the glass is always half full, not necessarily half empty. Ironically, I give me the opportunity to remind you of that one.
I was excited to open this other bottle of Chianti today, but I guess the one I'm drinking now is delicious. It's a inexpensive South African. I think I've drank this on the show before.
You have
South African Cabernet and Merlot mix,
right?
And I've never really had a South African wine that I didn't like. So
hey, you just reminded me looking at that logo. 2 days time. It's a big day for a lot of people in the West, certainly. Yeah, in the UK, I know the USA as well. But how does that sort of pan out in Japan?
Okay, here's this is a very strange story. So here it is. Okay, so in Japan, they have a Valentine's Day, but it's not like the guy's romancing the girl, or it's like something that you're doing together. It's just a big chocolate fest. So it's a big opportunity to sell chocolate, and that's anywhere, of course. But so Valentine's Day in Japan, what happens is the girls buy the guys chocolate. So whether they buy the people at school or work, all the guys or the guys they like, they get a little more special chocolate, or you make chocolate. And now they've added an extra day in Japan. And so the extra day happens on March 14th. So on March 14th, they have a day called White Day. So on White Day, it's the day where the guy buys chocolate to return to the lady. So they've created this, like, they boosted chocolate sales basically for a whole month.
But that's what they do with a lot of things when it comes to these holidays. Easter, chocolate eggs, and then Valentine's boxes of chocolates. And
Valentine's lasts for, like, a good, from February 14th, a month before February 14th until March 14th.
Well, the thing is, Valentine's Day, it's a bit different in the UK to the US. And I found out I mentioned it to someone in the US and they just didn't get it. And I'm like, what you don't have that? I had to work it out just for myself and the way this person was responding. And basically, in the UK, as far as I can remember, you have this thing called Secret Valentine. Again, going back to the school days, if you liked someone, then you would send them a card, but not sign it, for example.
That sucks. What, wouldn't you want them to know?
Yeah, but it was part of the fun, and as far as I'm concerned, still is. In the workplace, people receive cards, and it's often from someone they work with, and so they know that this person is interested in them, shall we say. And in the USA, that doesn't happen. Someone just looked at me and they're like, that's weird. As you just said, it's weird. It's almost like you got a stalker, which I can sort of understand to some degree, but hang on a minute. Anyway, it was a bit of fun, but I thought that was also what happened in the North American continent, but clearly not. Yeah, and it doesn't happen in Japan either, right?
They have something called Secret Santa.
Right.
Do you have that?
Secret Santa, yeah, is kind of like a tombola. It's like a little, lucky
What is
dip.
that? What is it called?
A lucky dip, but where you put everybody like buys a ticket or has a ticket dedicated to them, a raffle ticket and has a name on it, and you put it in, and
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you have to buy someone else something, don't you? Kind of,
and
you
there's
buy
something. There's usually a price limit, Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to have that as well, so everybody gets something equal value, and one person doesn't get a packet of hula hoop, candy crisps or whatever they're called, and the other one doesn't get a Ferrari. Yeah, right, understood. Elliot's just popped off. Thank you for joining us, Elliot. He said he'll be back at some point having a chat. That's good.
What do you
say?
A lucky? You said a lucky dip. That's like I've never. Yeah, these British terms that make no sense.
Tombola was the one you picked up on,
right? Tombola. What the hell is tombola? It's like I know. Was it Mark Bolan? But
yeah, right. Now tombola again is where it's one of these where you buy a ticket and it's like a raffle. A raffle.
Wait. Tombola.
Yeah. There's one you can teach to your students, because for those that aren't aware out there, Jimmy teaches English to people whose native tongue isn't that language.
One word. It's one word. Tombola.
Hopefully I
thought it was a name. Tombola.
Well, I guess somewhere out there somebody has crazily decided to call their child Tombola.
Here we go.
And there might even be someone out there whose family name is Bola, and they decided to call their son Tom or Thomas, in which case, yeah, Tombola.
Okay, why,
get in touch, yeah?
Why is it called a tombola? That is because a game that just happened to be given the tombola was played in Italy from the 18th century, traditionally on Christmas Day all around the country, though most famously starting in Naples, with the format of the game representing an early version of the 90-ball bingo game that we all know today. And that's what it says. It's a raffle. Wikipedia says a tombola raffle.
Yeah.
So it's a Christmas raffle.
There you go. See,
specifically in Christmas.
Yeah. Chiefly British term. Is that what it says there?
No, it says Italy.
Yeah. Oh, it's
tombola. It's a tombola.
Sure, and that's the word Lido, Lido. I believe Lido. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, that was that song, wasn't it? Of course, years ago. But no, the Lido is.
Lido?
It used to be an outdoor activity place. In the summertime, you'd go there, an outdoor pool, and they called it the Lido. And I believe you mentioned Italian terms, and I think that's an Italian origin as well. That word.
No idea.
Well,
What was
yes,
that?
that's.
What was that Seven Up character's name?
I'm
Or
not.
was it
I'm not.
Sprite? Or was it Sprite or Seven Up had that
Was it a
character?
little kind of like a cheeky monster type thing?
No.
Oh, just
It was like a stick figurine. Fido. It wasn't Lido. It was Fido.
right.
Fido.
Oh, Fido. Well, yeah, that's usually the synonymous
Fido
name
Dido or Fido
of
Dido. I don't know how you pronounce it.
yes. Anyhow,
Seven Up. Yeah.
7 Up. Yeah, interesting you mentioned that, you see. So there's a difference as well when it comes to, see, the UK lemonade over here. If we ask for lemonade, it's like 7 Up. See, 7 Up is lemonade with lime, right? If I remember rightly.
That's right. That's a lemon
But
lime soda. Lemon lime
yeah,
drink.
see, but the crazy thing is, you see, if you ask for lemonade in the UK, you basically are given a drink which is 7 Up but without the lime. In the USA, if you ask for lemonade, you often just get pink lemonade, which is somewhat
No, they have
different.
normal regular lemonade. It's made just lemon with sugar. Yeah, lemon with
But
sugar.
yeah, but
Pink
lemonade here.
lemonade's excellent. You don't like pink lemonade?
I
Come on.
love pink lemonade in the
Okay.
summertime, particularly. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
Um,
I used to drink a lot of Coca-Cola until I came to Japan. I'm drinking a lot more tea.
right.
Um, and recently, what I've been drinking is a lot of Shirley Temple. So it's soda water, and I'm got the grenadine liquid, and I can pour in just the right amount, so it's not too sweet and it doesn't have the caffeine.
And that's your Shirley Temple.
You didn't know what a Shirley Temple was?
I just remember it was some little young female who used to sing on the big
Yes,
ship
yes.
Lollipop.
And she used to go into, like, she was in Hollywood star, so she would go into bars with other stars. And she was a kid; she wasn't allowed to have these drinks. So the bartender made her this drink named after her called the Shirley Temple. It's soda with grenadine juice and maybe was it a cherry? Like, what are they called? What are those cherries called?
Not Kirsch. The quiche cherries.
Marciano cherries.
Marciano. That's right. Yeah.
Marciano cherries. Yeah,
Thank you.
Marciano
Yeah.
cherry
Yeah.
in a soda
Love
with
those.
some grenadine juice, which is what,
Yeah.
pomegranate juice, I guess.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I eat a lot of pomegranates. Here, I got one right here. See,
Yes, yes, I should get into those. I mean, we have them around here, pomegranates, but it's just something I haven't really. Again, as when I was much younger, I just used to think, "Oh my goodness, why do you want to eat something that's stuffed with loads of pips?" When with apples and pears, you throw them out. You don't even think twice.
it's no it's like, red, was it corn kernels that pop
Right?
in your mouth. They're great.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It's great, and I think it's a high. Was it a antioxidant quality to it?
I bet anti-carcinogenic as well, all that stuff
Well, that's probably
probably.
what it's called.
Like
Yeah,
a bit like yeah,
like
acacia
wine.
berries. Right. Well, if you don't drink too much, sure. You reminded me of when you said Shirley Temple music, and in the past week, sadly, we lost one of the Supremes, didn't we? Mary, can't remember her name now. It's just, but yeah, one of the Supremes passed away, and Diana Ross made a comment on her, well, in
Well,
the news anyway.
many people made a comment about it. What was her
It was
name?
Mary. You'll have to remind me of her surname. My mind has gone totally blank at this time. Maybe someone
Mary
out there.
Wilson. Mary Wilson.
Mary Wilson. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And she
Yeah.
looked pretty young for her age on the footage that they were showing on the news here, like a couple of years ago or so. They showed you some clips from back then, 24 months or so ago, when she was.
Yeah. Well, in general, was it black people keep their youth a lot longer than white people?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, funny enough, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a guy I was talking with recently, a black guy, and I couldn't believe his age. He was, yeah, totally looking much more youthful than, say, a Caucasian person would at his age, in his mid-50s. So yeah,
Have you ever? You should. I don't know if you know Bill Barr. His name is Bill Burr. Bill Burr, the stand-up comedian Bill Burr.
nope,
He's a stand-up comedian, and he talks about why Caucasians age poorly compared to black people. And it's a secret called lotion. And black people use a lot of lotion, and Caucasians don't.
yeah,
And it's actually a very funny stand-up bit. So if you ever get a chance, Bill Burr, just look up lotion, and it should come up.
okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use a lot of lotion. I got this thing about sticking cream on your face, and I'm just like, no thanks. I would never have in
It
years
depends on
ago.
where you live. It depends on where you live. If you
Of
live in a
course,
very dry climate, you might need lotion. I personally, I don't use lotion, but sometimes maybe in the winter when if I walk around was it a barefoot for a long time and the back of my feet get a little bit hard, I put lotion in to soften it up. Yeah, but
sure,
not too
yeah.
often.
Mm. No, but I just had this thing about putting these sort of lotions and creams, even suntan lotion on. Not that we had to do that much over my lifespan, going out on a summer's day here in the UK because it isn't as hot as it is, say, obviously in Australia or again the North American continent. And I these days won't hesitate, but I just had this thing about, oh my goodness, it's all sticky and whatever. I don't. It's just one of those childhood things, hang ups that you have when you're younger. Yeah.
Why can't I find my bottle opener, Martin?
What you? Wow.
That's what happens. I started cleaning my desk, and that's what happens when you fucking
Yeah.
clean, man. You lose things.
Well, as
Oh,
long as you haven't lost your marbles, that's good, Jimmy.
my marbles. I don't play with marbles anymore. I'm doing coins.
Oh, you are. Have you bought anything this week? While on that
Well,
topic.
okay. Well, I don't know. Did I show you my? I don't know if I don't remember if I showed you my recent purchase. So we got was it
One with the Queen, the sovereigns. Where are we? There you go.
Britannian?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Britannia. Okay, and then
Yeah.
you got the
You see one and a half of those.
this is the usual one.
Yeah.
The back,
Mm-hmm.
right? The sovereign, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
watch this one.
Elton John. Yes, we saw that last week.
Oh,
You
you
did
did. Okay, I
with this.
forget.
Yeah.
Okay, well then my
Yeah.
most recent purchase is this one,
I do like that Elton John coin. Very nice. Oh, Panda Bear. Mm-hmm.
Chinese,
Yep.
the China one, not 2015. So yeah, that's my the most recent coin I received.
Uh
I'm trying
huh.
to figure out if I think I've showed you the rest. Yeah, but actually, what I did was that I did this week is that I made my first. Well, I mean, of course, I maybe I have a little bit of a gold jewelry, but I made my first purchase and bought. Was it a what is it called? A ingot? Ingot? Was it a gold
Ingot.
ingot? Yeah.
Sure.
So I decided
Okay.
it's kind of like what do you call it for like a good luck charm for my wallet. So I actually bought my first one, and I'm planning to start buying a lot more.
Right.
So I'll show you. I got a 5 gram ingot. It's about this
Ingot.
size.
There you go. Yeah. Nice. Hold it. Oh, yeah. Just a bit of reflection on there.
Yeah, it's a five.
Obviously,
It's a
very
five.
good.
Look how thin
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Look thin. It's
Yeah. Are
five
you, are you,
grams.
Jimmy? Are you starting up a museum there or something with
No,
all
no.
these?
This is like a very was it a common thing, right? So so you take a guess like how much that costs. 5 grams.
Yeah. People are going to be careful when they're listening to this because they almost thought you said 5 grand. But yes, 5 grams. No, you're going to have to tell us.
It's about I'd say well if I'm going to put it in dollars, it's probably about $360.
Right. That's a bit of
You
a
know,
whack.
it is, but if you got to look at it in a different way. So it's either you're purchasing, was it you're looking at you're buying something, but you're not actually buying something. Is what you're actually doing is you're taking fake money and then you're buying real money because as you know, gold and silver is called God's money.
So we're
So
talking about changing it from fiat money
fiat
into
exactly, or
right
fake money or whatever you want to
into
call it.
something
Yeah.
that's physically valuable and in demand. Yeah, I understand.
Absolutely. I mean, I think okay, that's actually it's a very good topic.
Well,
So
yeah,
let's
but and that's a total extreme. Is God's money at sort of like the top end for you, as you're saying? Oh, now they've decided to lose me. I don't know if Jimmy can still hear me, but can you still
what?
hear me,
No,
Jimmy?
I can hear you.
That's good. Okay, so that'll be interesting. I'm monitoring the situation as we often do back on our devices, but I can see both of us have disappeared off of the HAP screen, but we can both be heard at the moment, which is well. I say that. Hmm.
I wonder what the hell's happening
What
here.
is it's probably another server issue. I'll continue as I was saying, and it'll automatically bring us back when it decides to, if it decides to. And this is what I was saying, by the way, about producing in the cloud. Now I don't know. You can see has your main screen, lost me and you on it on the main?
Well, actually, I wanted to share something. It kind of like
No, you
froze.
didn't answer my. Right, yeah, as I said, so where we were before on the program output screen, what do you see there now? Is it still us, or has it gone to the HAPS logo in glorious black?
No, I can't see it because my screen is blocked.
Your screen's blocked.
Yes, that's my problem here. Yeah.
Right, that I don't understand. All I know is where we were featuring moments ago, monitoring ourselves on the program end of things, in the middle of the screen, Jimmy, for your information and to assist you there. It did have us on it together, and now we're no longer there. Now the question mark remains with this cloud technology that we're using as the HAPS broadcast studio is, are we both still connected to the HAPS server and it's cut off the output that's supposed to be going out to everyone on different platforms from that server, or have we been cut off some way between us reaching the server? And I would suggest it's
I
the
think we're
former.
still on. I think we because since I can still hear you, I
I
think that we're
would
on.
suggest exactly, because if you and I had disconnected, but it's interesting that we've both disconnected from there. And what I'm going to, anyway, you see, they've decided to bring me back. I got to tell you that, you know, I don't know of a video platform. I think Jimmy's gone completely now. Now we'll just wait for him to come back. Definitely, people. Very, 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 very strange. But what I was going to say was, I don't know of a video platform out there, even in beta mode, that has
I'm back in.
such irregular reliability or such frequent unreliability. I don't know of any other platform that I've engaged and used as a tool, however early on in its development. I mean, this is ridiculous. Their servers keep going down, and again, I think you can still hear me, can't you, Jimmy? Now,
Yeah.
great that
Okay.
our
Well, we're back.
video's gone
We're
again.
back
So what,
in. We're back in.
well,
So
well, no, it's as I was saying. It was going. It's now my end's. I'm back again now, but it's very intermittent and very. As I say, the reliability. I certainly wouldn't want to be one of their CEOs at apps or
let's let
some.
yeah. Let's take a look at this gold thing I want to share here.
Oh, okay. I'll let
So
you
can you see it? There you go.
lead the
Look at that.
conversation. You're good at that.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
great, great. A gold graph.
Okay, gold graph. I'm gonna switch it to, was it dollars? Is that a lot easier to understand?
English is good for me.
English. Okay. Well, what's it? Was it? What am I looking for? UK. Well, well, I'm going to do dollars because I can't find UK. What is it? What is it supposed to be? B? Is it B? Here it goes. Great British Pound.
GBP, Jimmy.
Okay, there you go. So sterling. Here you go. So this is a 1 day in gold, right? Here's 1 week. Here's 6 months. So it looks like it's going down. It looks like it's a bad deal, right?
Right.
1 year doesn't look that great. 2 years. Now it's starting to look good. 5 years. 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
15 years. 20 years. 30 years. So
There you
that's a
have
chart.
it.
And now this is a British chart because in each country it's a little bit different. So if you had bought like some good, was it gold at this
Yeah.
time, it would have been for an ounce, it would have been, was it 157 British pounds in
Which is
2000
what,
in the
about
year
$200 US.
$200, but now here's the price now.
Joe's just joined us from the platform that we all know and love, YouTube,
Yeah.
and says, of course, hello, chaps, as you may have seen a moment ago, but certainly helping us out with the GBP abbreviation for
Yeah, so look at that.
the
It's
British
that's was it.
currency.
It's 1,314 pounds now. That's the price now. Now, if you look at this chart, they don't have very much, but it's very interesting that in the British market, gold has been steady going up since like 1973. So if you had made a purchase at any time before today, you would have been in pretty good hands. And the way it's looking, it's probably going to continue to go up. And what I'm also thinking is that because of the coronavirus and the COVID, we're going to see a lot of financial, troubles after the actual fact. They're not going to show it now, but after this is passed for a while, what we're going to see is probably going to see a lot of inflation because the government has spent a lot of money dishing out a lot of money, and we're going to see a rise in taxes probably too. So gold is probably something good to be holding on to, at least just to have a little bit of it. So you got some extra cash, some real money instead of fake money.
Uh, well, as I was explaining before we sidetracked earlier on, I think the technical problems got the better of us. Going back to what you call God's money, what it's known as, such as the gold,
Gold and
diamonds,
silver. Here, well,
precious
it's
metals.
not diamonds, but gold and silver. This is the silver price. It's a little more finicky. 1 day, 1 week, 6 months, 5 years, 15 years, 30 years. Well, so you're not going to lose was it complete value, but in general, you're going to have and especially now, I think because of the production of electric cars, solar panels, what else is there? A lot of different things that are starting to use silver, and I think platinum too. That is probably a good thing to buy, just to have. I'm buying silver because I'm collecting coins right now. The funny thing is, I started collecting silver about 2 months ago. Seriously, collecting silver coins. I bought two more coins today, um, and I was buying them for like I'm going to translate to dollars because that's what I know.
Mm-mm.
About $35
Yeah.
a coin because the silver value, the market price is about 26, $27 right now,
Right,
and that is only they're talking about market futures, which means the silver doesn't exist. They haven't dug it up. They haven't refined it yet. So when you want to buy a silver coin, it's going to be a much more of a premium. So it's not going to be $26. It's going to be $35 or $40. Right
right.
now, I'm seeing these coins rise up to 60 and $80 because there's such a big demand and there's not enough silver.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but I think it's something to look into. And I also want to talk about was it other currencies today is the cryptocurrencies. What's your was it a take on that?
I was trying to give it about 5, 10 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago, when I was saying, which I'll say now for the third time, that well, we've mentioned your favourites there, the God's currencies, the precious metals. Then, of course, in the middle, I would say we have those fiat currencies at the moment, because then on the other extreme, you have the completely invisible currencies of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and the like. And yeah, as I say, that's a totally another end of the scale in terms of what you're saying that you much prefer, which is something tangible that it has a value.
Well, that's
But,
here's the deal. I just signed up for two. Was it bit? What do you call it? Crypto wallets.
yeah, yeah,
And I've just registered for one of them. I think it was Bitflyer. I've just received a confirmation that I'm authorized to start. Was it using it? And Kraken, which seems to be a trusted one. I just signed up for that. I'm still waiting for authorization, and I'm starting to think about just buying a little bit just to see what you can do with it. I mean, it's quite interesting because you can say, well, it's not. Was it tangible? Is it not real? But guess what? The money they call real money is not real. So the money that you're using right now is not even real. So
right. But it's interesting that you've just said that what's going to become more popular are these precious metals, gold, silver. But what about cryptocurrency? That seems to have taken off ridiculously well over the years. Yes,
absolutely.
indeed, it has its peaks and troughs like all investments, but it seems to be pretty high at the moment on a lot of people's lists and what they're putting
Well,
their savings into.
yeah, it is. And so I don't know. I'm gonna buy. I'm thinking of buying a little bit so I know what's going on because I don't. I'm not gonna say that I actually understand that.
Right.
Do you?
Well, do I
Do you?
understand the concept of cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like anything, isn't it? When you tell people that something is or should be desirable and it's got a worth and a value, then it's about it's like a supply and demand thing, isn't it? It's about there's only a handful of them out there, and you are one of the many that wants that thing.
No, I don't know what it
Harder
is.
to
So I
buy.
mean, you hear about people. Was it this is in yen here? Let me change it to a. Let's see if I can change it to dollar. Okay, I'll change it to British pounds for you if
I
it's going to
haven't
make it
invested
easier for you.
in one Bitcoin cryptocurrency or the other. I haven't decided to.
Well,
Oh,
here's
what's it on Ethereum?
Ethereum looks like it's going up too. So here's
Yep.
Bitcoin. So I mean, what was the value of it? Okay, let's see. Was it 1 year? Let's see the 1 year situation. Okay, so we're talking a March. Was it February? Was it 2000? So one Bitcoin was 7,490 pounds. I mean, what the hell does that mean? Okay, so and what's the price now? 34,074 pounds. That's
There you go.
crazy.
For a
And
Bitcoin, for a piece of
for
digital code.
a digital code, but you can actually use this on the market to purchase things. You can do things. So,
It's a mental state though then when it comes to this, isn't it, Jimmy, when you think about it? Because if you haven't got something physical to possibly admire, if nothing else, at least say that the coins that you've shown us, yeah, if they depreciate to zero value, for
it's no such thing. It will never depreciate to value. The money might
if
depreciate. There might be a
you miss the
reset
word,
in the
yeah,
global
sure.
financial systems, but guess what? The silver is going to be of value, and the gold is going to be of value.
Well, it's like, okay, let's try different, if you buy a car or a house, yeah, and
This
for
is the one
some,
we're supposed to be watching out
maybe
for.
you don't. Right, okay.
This is the one we're watching out for. Was it Elon Musk stuck a lot of money in it? Then Gene Simmons stuck a lot of money, and then I guess Snoop Dogg mentioned it, and suddenly this thing is shooting up like crazy. And it's basically just like some kind of it was a meme of a Japanese dog, Shiba Inu, and now it's a currency. And where did it come from? So you can pay people with this currency and you can cash out on it. So basically, people are putting money into this. I don't know if it's called Doggy Coin. I guess it's called Doggy Coin or Doge Coin. I think it's Doggy Coin. So they're sticking their money. They're investing into Doggy Coin, which is giving it value, which means that you can move it as a currency. And right now, Doggy Coin you can see is like it's less than
This
a
is nothing new
dollar.
to me. People, you can pay anyone with anything so long as that individual will accept from you.
Believes it.
Somebody even believes
But
it.
the thing is,
Somebody's hungry, and you
you can
say to them, if someone's hungry and you say to them that you need your computer repaired, but all you can do is give them food, as payment because you don't have any money right now, and you give them a can of baked beans or something, or spaghetti in a tin or something, or even fresh spaghetti. The point is, if you shake hands and agree metaphorically, that's it. That's the currency that's common to both of you, and the transaction takes place, and you're both happy so long as you've
well,
agreed
thing
initially.
with these things that you can actually turn them into the fake fiat currency.
Well, you
You,
could with the spaghetti that I just mentioned. You got the
yes, you're
option.
right. With the shells, how many shells do you want?
Right,
Seashell.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's as simple. It's just it's so long as you're in agreement, of the worth and the value, then that's fine. You can transact quite easily. People do
I
that all
think
the time. Rather than paying cash or currency, people will swap. Someone will say, "I'll cook
a
for
swap.
you if you go and paint this door for me." Simple
And
bartering.
how many shells is that worth?
Well, as I said, you don't even have to talk about shells, do you? Really? Just yeah, you don't even need that
It's a
metaphorical
way of,
code.
it's a way of keeping record. It's a way of keeping record. I think
Well,
there used to was it England where they used to keep notches on a stick, or was that
okay.
Europe? What was
Well,
that?
I think it was over in the UK, England.
Okay, yeah, what was that? I don't know. I kind of recall reading about that.
Right.
So you would have a stick, like a money stick, and you would slit notches into it, and that would be what the stick was worth, or
It's the most basic form of currency, isn't it? And yeah, that's right. But again, so long as you don't cheat and start putting additional ones on yourself, notches, when no one's looking, then that's what it's all about. It's simple. It's all
No,
about.
so so you understand the system. I was wondering how that
Well, not
system worked.
exactly. Well, I'm sure if you go to our good old friend, uh, sort of curated by Jimmy Wales,
So
Wikipedia.
you're not gonna help me out here.
I can't. I'm not going to start saying I know about that exactly. But as Joe says on YouTube, notches on the bedpost. That was.
Is that what it's called? Notches on the bedpost?
Go check it out on online, Jimmy, for the
Well,
for the
I am
definitive.
looking. I mean, was it notches on the bedpost?
Well,
Meaning, what does notches on the
so long as you
bedpost
don't leave your
mean?
chewing gum on the bedpost overnight, there, Joe.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
because
this. He's talking about something
okay,
completely different, dude. It's not
right.
notches on the bedpost. Stick, uh, currency. Let's see. In medieval Europe, which was predominantly illiterate, and constantly short of physical money, the split tally was a technique to record bilateral exchanges and debts. A stick, most commonly a limb of squared hazelwood, was marked with a system of notches and then split lengthwise. Whoa. Okay, that was a joke, Joe saying. Yeah, but I looked
I
it
was
up.
waiting for you to see that comment.
It's
Yeah, there
called
you go.
It's called a tally stick.
Tally Stick, yeah, absolutely. And Tally Sticks is a company in the UK at the moment called Tally Sticks, who actually start again, profess. They deal with cryptocurrency company,
Okay.
and yeah, obviously that's where their name's from.
Okay. I have to show this here because it's such an interesting thing. So this is what a tally stick looks like, basically. These are tally sticks. This looks like it's on a bone.
It's possible that they were, if
Yeah.
not on a wooden stick. Yeah.
So
But it was
yeah,
a
this is
way. It was a way of exchanging a worth, a value.
yeah. National Archives, so this is a tally. This is a very small picture. That's not really going to work. Yeah, so basically that's what a tally stick is. I guess I'd have to read up more about exactly what it is, but yeah, if you trust
Yeah,
anybody, I'm gonna notch it up on this stick here.
yeah. It's a shame that lolly sticks, ice lolly sticks, not worth money, huh? There you go. You finish your ice lolly, and boom, you can exchange it for something else. Another ice lolly that hasn't been eaten yet, melted. You know.
Splitting and all. So basically, you split it in half a tally stick, so each party would know what the notches were. Uh, Tulips were turned into currency. That's right. It was what was it called? Yeah, it was the turnip bubble. So yeah, that's very famous. On the was it about history or the market history? Yeah, currency
Yeah,
tulip.
we're back to February 14 in a couple of days. That was a indirect reminder when we were talking about Valentine's earlier on. Yeah, the
Tulips? I thought it was roses.
roses, tulips, whatever. Look, well, listen again. There's no hard and fast rules really. Of course, people love a red rose as the ladies, but yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, everyone has
Couple
their
of
own preferences.
dandelions.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, yeah, and burdock juice. Yeah,
Juice.
yeah. Dandelion and burdock to drink. Yeah, I've seen that around recently as well. It's nothing new, but I've seen it in some cans recently.
Burdock
Yeah,
juice is very healthy for you.
in 1600s apparently. Or yes, says
Yes, that's what it
Joe.
was. That's right.
The tulips were currency. Look at that.
Yeah.
How far we've come in quite a few hundred years. Hmm. Yeah,
Well,
500 years.
there's still a lot of worth. Well, there's even Digimon cards, or was it Pokemon cards, that are worth currency now.
Well, there you are. Who knows? I mean, as I say, just to clarify, of course, from
Baseball cards.
1600s, we're now 400 years ahead, and who knows what's going to be like in 400 years from now? I dread to think. We just know that we won't be here.
I'm thinking that gold and silver will remain. I think that's what, unless I
You
was talking
think?
about this. I was talking about this with somebody. Now, here's the
Hmm.
interesting thing: alchemy.
Yes.
All the great minds in history dabbled in alchemy, including probably Newton. I'm thinking Da Vinci too. All these great minds dabbled in alchemy. So of course it's an impossibility turning, was it matter to whatever, to gold.
Right.
I think it was lead. The big thing was trying to turn lead into gold. So now, not that I have any kind of scientific background or any kind of scientific knowledge, but what is this thing called? The CERN super collider.
The Hadlon, with the Collider, the Collider, the telescope thing, and the height, where the
Well,
atoms
not
go around it.
telescope, but
You're right.
they're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
bashing matter together or whatever. So
yeah.
let's say, is it possible to like manipulate matter maybe to a point where they're going to be able to make gold?
Possibly. Listen,
Because
they're
that
trying
would be
to
the key.
invent
That would
time
destroy.
machines and time travel, and they've even, obviously they're experimenting on little rodents like they often do. But I believe they literally have transferred, sort of some living matter, an organism from one point to another. That's pretty scary because you can imagine if you have a power outage and a failure halfway through, you're transferring there. You imagine.
What
What
was that?
happens?
Was it the Philadelphia? Was it the Philadelphia experiment? Was it Philadelphia? What was it called?
Is that when they're making cheese?
No, the Philadelphia experiment is not. No, not the cheese. What they were, they were doing it. Was it the portal? The portal. They
Okay.
were moving a person to another person. So
Yeah.
I heard reports that there was like people like be sticking they'd be half a body sticking out of metal or whatever it was. I mean, this is all covered up, of course.
That sounds like a
Uh,
magician doing a trick that's gone badly wrong. Cutting
uh,
a woman in half or something like that. Yeah.
well, I think that's what it was called, the Philadelphia experiment.
Oh, maybe. Speak to David Copperfield.
Well, you know,
We lost him recently as well, didn't we? The
I didn't
Siegfried
know
and
that.
Roy. Yeah, both of them are now deceased. Um, hmm.
Well, I think it was like a transporting. I guess what was that? What was the movie? The Fly.
Oh yes,
So basically,
yes.
that's what the Fly was originally. It was a transporter. He was transporting matter or from one end to another, from one space to another. And the Philadelphia experiment was actually something that it was a government experiment. Was Joe was talking about? It was a
Joseph said they did it with
warship they
they
did
did
it
it
with.
with a
Yeah,
warship.
it was
Yeah.
called that. It was called the Philadelphia. But the point was that there was actually people on it that got transported and they were deformed. They got deformed or dead. I'm not sure what happened
Hmm.
exactly. Of course, this is all a big cover up. Who knows how much of it's real? Uh, is it a conspiracy? Is it theory? Is it a theory? Is it a cover up? You know, there's been a lot of things that the U.S. government covers up that are crazy things. So
All
I don't know.
governments, not just the US. Come on, let's
Oh,
get it right.
yeah, the British government is high on that list.
Listen, do you think the government would tell you if they had a warning that the
MI6.
world was going to end and they knew when that was? Seriously?
Yeah, old Vincent. He says the old Vincent Price film was better than the Jeff Goldblum one. Because what? Because in the old one, he really looked like a fly with the big bug eyes. That was, Vincent Price. I love that. I'm a big Alice Cooper fan, and he's worked with Alice Cooper. So yes, Vincent Price deserves a big shout out.
Yes. He was the guy on that Michael Jackson track, wasn't he? The Thriller voice.
But it was first to Alice Cooper. Welcome to your nightmare.
Mm. Right.
So yes, and he was a cook, and he was releasing cookbooks too, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, he was a scaredy cat. He didn't like the dark.
Right.
Yeah, he just had a great voice.
Like yourself, Jimmy, I understand.
I have a great voice. Thank you.
Well, that's what I've heard. And you were telling us, I mean, you're into your jazz singing and all that stuff. I can't wait for live music to return.
No, not jazz, but metal. It was originally hard rock, heavy metal. I
Right.
did a little bit of jazz, which was interesting too. It's all fun. It's all singing.
Yeah.
Okay, what about what was it? It's Tom, Joe. Why don't we just let Joe? Why doesn't Joe just join us?
Well, that's a
I
good
mean,
question. Joe, are you going to join us possibly? Well, Joe
okay,
can't join us from YouTube. That's the
oh,
thing.
okay. So
Joe's
we
watching
can't.
on
He
YouTube.
can't.
You know?
He can't join us unless you get onto Haps. Joe, get onto Haps in 2000. No, in 2000. What about the U.S. Navy disclosure of the UFO phenom in 2017? Yeah, you know what? Hey, of course, I believe all that stuff. I believe all that stuff. Of course, we're not the only people here in the fucking wide, huge wide universe. I mean, it'd be ignorant and stupid to think that we were the only. Was it living things, or well, one of the living things? This planet is the only. Was it a planet that has living organisms? Yeah, but so yeah, Joe, why don't you just get on Haps?
Yeah, you have to download it if you haven't done so already. Check out their website.
No, you don't have to download it. Oh, if you're on your
Haps.tv.
computer, you could just sign in or register.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Haps.tv
yeah.
on any browser.
So yeah, of course, there's been a lot of disclosure, and they obviously make sure that disclosure comes like years or decades later that nobody's paying attention. So most people, like, you tell them this stuff and they're like, you're fucking crazy, or you're a conspiracy theorist, and those people are usually just ignorant. And you can tell them, like, well, why don't you look it up? And they'll tell you, well, like, show me the evidence, and then what? Good. I'm not, I used to do that. I used to pull up evidence for people. I don't do that anymore. I just, like, what? If you're gonna doubt me and you doubt me, then you go look it up. I've looked it up already. So
There you
of
go.
course some some things that I've looked up might have been false, but don't tell me to look for evidence. Don't tell me to show you evidence. It's just ridiculous.
Hey, Jimmy, can I change the subject slightly?
Yeah, do it. Come on, let's do it. What are we talking about next?
I told you right at the beginning. Well, I just wanted to just rewind a little bit to the weather, and I'm just really looking forward to it warming up. But I was going to just remind everyone how cold it's been in London over the last handful of days.
Yes, I'm
Should we
listening.
show them?
I'm looking for my. Oh my God, I found it.
While Jimmy goes looking, we'll watch this.
I found it. Oh yeah, let's watch it. Let's watch it.
As I was saying, just a few a few sites around the east part of London on the borders of the county of Essex as the snow hit this part of the planet, and it's still bitterly cold outside. It's for the most, it's now melted, the snow. Yes, and as I say, I realised there was a bit of you just watching me talking and I wasn't unmuted, which I am now. Jimmy, I'm going to try and get you to rejoin me by pressing this button here.
Yes, 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 yes. And you know what? I'm going to go agree with Joe. His comment. You know nothing, man. It's been 20 degrees here for weeks. So I let me tell you, Joe. I think Martin just wanted to show he wanted to show little bits of his lovely city that he edited. But yeah, he's talking about snow. I didn't even see snow, so I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah,
You're
it wasn't
absolutely right,
so
Joe.
deep. It was just yeah, exactly. I just thought I'd let you see what's going on locally to where I've been visiting,
Absolutely, it was beautiful.
and
It was beautiful. It was
yeah, no,
beautiful.
the church is pretty awesome. I've got to tell you, that is a typical
But it wasn't a
favourite
snow video.
site.
It wasn't a snow video.
No. Well, listen, the point is that's as much as you're going to see from this part of London. I could have just left it to your imagination, and then people, yeah, they can agree with you and say, yeah, actually, it wasn't so bad by looking at that. There you go. You do miss travel. Joe misses travelling. Yes, we all miss travelling. It's amazing how we do love travelling.
I just opened up. I finally found it. I just opened up the mother bottle of a Chianti, Great Chianti.
Yeah, it was indeed, Joe. It was a light dusting of snow, but if you go further north in the area of Scotland that I'm thinking of in the Highlands, that it was so deep in snow. You can check out your news sources. As I say, it was very, very cold there, bitterly cold. It was so much so that they haven't seen low temperatures like it for the last since about 10, 11 years ago. Anyway, how does it look for the coming week? Sorry, Jimmy. In terms of weather conditions, and who knows what in
Well,
Japan? Is
in
it
Japan,
brightening up?
where I'm living, I live like really in the center of Japan, and it's not right now. It's Celsius wise. It's 11 degrees Celsius. What was this? It's 51 degrees Fahrenheit. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning here.
How many
Uh,
degrees Celsius, Jimmy?
11.
No, no comment.
Oh, okay, there you go. So anyway, that was a message for you, but nobody else.
Right.
Okay, so uh, tomorrow we're having the high of a 17. Sunday we're having a little rain, but a high of 15. Monday it's 10, 9. Then Wednesday it's 5. Thursday it's 8. So February is the coldest month. So I can't say that it's really, really cold, but it is cold, but not really, really cold.
Well, when
Yeah.
I was out with that video, putting those clips together, to me, in my head, I was thinking, wow, it'll be December soon. It'll be the holiday season soon. I was suddenly thrown back to thinking, I realized it wasn't, but it just felt like it should have done late November. It was very strange because I guess what I'm saying indirectly is that with the pandemic, the holidays really didn't happen for me. I planned for it to be like that, as in I expected it, after, living through the early part of 2020, the pandemic hit around about February, March time here in England. And I just sensed that, you know what, we are just going to have to suffer putting life on hold for a good year. And the way things are at the moment, again, they're now people are having the conversation saying, well, actually, going on vacation holiday this year, probably not. We will still be in some sort of lockdown and have restrictions. Realistically, things won't be back to anything considered to be close to normal until the end of 2021.
It's only going to get. It's only going to start. It's only going to get starting. It's going to start to come back next. Actually, there's was it a Chinese fortune telling that's been around for a few years, and it was talking about that 2020 would be a really bad year. So, and I think the more detailed view is that 2020 was where the outside, what we can see, everything collapses. And in 2021, we're going to see further collapse, but it's going to be an internal collapse.
Yeah, we're
It's
going
going
to
to
be.
be internal collapse. And then it's going to restart next year.
Yeah, it
So,
made sense.
yeah.
To me, it made sense to me, and certainly the way the government have mishandled this, certainly in the UK. It's almost like they're just being so cautious.
Don't put too much faith in the government. That's the first problem. If you put faith in the government, that's the problem.
Yeah, but my point is the way the system is, we have to let the government play it out. So I'm not suggesting I'm putting too much faith in them. Personally, I'm not putting any faith in them myself. Do you know what? They can't answer the way these ministers are at the moment. They're like nursery school children, and as I say, it's like a circus. One of the ministers was asked the other day, repeatedly at the end of last year, it was suggested that key workers, nurses, doctors, people in the medical field and carers should have a pay rise because they are key to this pandemic, at the moment, and caring for us all. And it was sort of subtly
risk and danger.
They agreed originally that they would review. Now, when they were asked about, so when are they going to receive a pay rise? Then his response was, well, we've got to speak to not the union, but that sort of thing, and have discussions. And then the presenter said, yes. So when do you think that pay rise will happen? Well, we can't just deal with one thing. We've got to deal with multiple things, such as what the question being asked, but also making sure that our National Health Service continues to operate efficiently and even better in the future. Okay, fine. So that's great, the presenter was saying. So you're going to discuss multiple things, including the pay rise. So as part of those discussions that include multiple decisions, when are you going to propose or say to us now that you think the pay rise will come into effect? And again, it just did not answer.
Well, you know what?
Terrible.
I think they approached it real wrong, and that whole concept of approaching it is real wrong. And I think that before the pay raise has to come the pay cuts for the politicians, and that's a much more important thing to happen than the pay raises. Is the pay cuts for the politicians?
The billions that they've spent and just thrown away, like at the beginning of the pandemic, to ensure that the PPE was.
Yeah, you're going to pay for that later. You're going to be paying for that later with inflation.
Taxpayers, right? The next generation who are being affected right now.
Next year, the year after.
Right. Well, yes, but again, all the students right now, they are honestly, they're just in limbo at the moment because, well, they've already had getting on for a year of education messed up and put on hold. And I don't know these conversations about forget having. We don't need to discuss what the solution is right now, but have the discussions so that you can have a handful of options to consider. Yeah, and then we can move forward like that. Pretty shocking stuff. Joe was saying politics is being shown for what it is these days.
Well,
Yeah,
if
I
you
agree with
how
that.
yeah,
They
but you
can't
know what?
hide
Something
now.
we I think a few of us already knew what it was. People still believe the government. People still actually have faith in the fucking government, and that's what the scary thing is in this world. Is people like they're against people that are was it saying look there's something wrong like no the government the government's taking us give us welfare give us take care of us let's say was it this is ridiculous. Same with the pay raises. I think this is all why are we putting so much faith in the government? It's sick. I'm sick of it.
I tell you why as well, because people are used to being conditioned to believe in government. So to start thinking in a different way and accepting, it's a bit like we were saying earlier, the difference between investing in your cryptocurrency instead of currency that is tangible, like your
Well
precious
no
metals.
the price
People have
but
got to start.
the cryptocurrency might start having much more worth than the fiat currency made by these the reserve banking system that the government uses, where you're taxing people. They tell you, oh, your taxes you're for the roads or the bridges and the highways, and it's all lies. The taxes is for them to pay back the interest and the money, the fake money that they have borrowed from these centralized banks that are
Yeah,
usually called the Bank of Japan or the Federal Reserve of America, and basically they're fake money. They're just fake money. Hey, I'm very interested in Joe here. Joe said that was it? I'm a jock in Norway. What do you mean a jock in Norway? That you're like one of those assholes in high school that played sports, or was it a jock meaning like a disc jockey? What are you talking about? I'm a jock in Norway.
well,
Joe,
you're going to have.
well, sign into Haps already, Joe. I'm sick and tired of reading your comments. If you're writing so many comments, you might as well just start
Jimmy,
talking.
Jimmy. Oh dear, Jimmy. Well, some people do prefer to type. Some people, for some.
Keyboard warriors, I can't stand them. I never reach in Facebook. I put shit up. They don't respond much because they know I won't respond. But they type shit and try to like all right, make it all right. And I'm not gonna argue with you in typing. The cancel culture was it keyboard warrior bullshit. Screw
Oh,
you, all of you.
well,
Any,
Jimmy.
yeah. Your mate knows what a jock is. Your mate knows what a jock is. So what? So what is that? A jock? He's talking about the British know. So Joe's in Norway. I think Joe's. He's joined us before. This is the second time he's joined us.
Well, not for the first or second time. I mean, Joe's been around, certainly following my channels for a while.
Okay, okay,
Well, you have
okay.
presenters on the radio who are jocks, as in jockeys, disc
Oh, okay,
jockeys.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that
okay.
sort of
That's
thing.
what he meant. That's what I thought. That's what he went. That's what I
Yeah.
thought he meant.
No. But you also have people that live further north, as in Scotland rather than England, and the Scottish inhabitants there, those indigenous of Scotland, are also called jocks as well.
So he's a Norway. He's a jock from Norway.
Well, apparently it says I'm a jock in Norway. So yes, I would suggest that's exactly what he meant. Yeah, yeah. But Jimmy, you thought he was a keyboard warrior. Yeah, hey man, I'm no keyboard warrior, man. Ha ha. Says Joe. There
I
you
know
go.
if he's a jock, he's not a keyboard warrior, but he said he's anxiety. He doesn't want to come on.
Well, there you are. That's good enough to accept from someone. I don't think we need to have that repeated to us. After all, it's we
You're
can read it
joining
as
us
many
next
times as
time,
we need to.
Joe.
Yeah, please do.
Sign up to Haps. You're joining us next time.
Yeah, that'd be good if you do join Haps because it is a decent platform with
I'm
plenty of
Scottish.
decent content and things happening. Yeah,
He
he's
is
Scottish.
Scottish.
Yeah,
He is Scottish.
I can't remember whether it's from the eastern or the western coasts, or even possibly further
Okay, so
north.
he's Scottish, but he's
Glasgow
living in
or
Norway.
Edinburgh. That's what I
You're Scot.
said, Jimmy. I think did I not sort of
No,
verify that?
no. You told me that there's people in the northern Scotland that are called jocks. I didn't know that. It says I'm a jock in Norway. Maybe the Norwegians have jocks too. I
Oh,
didn't know.
okay. Well, I'm sorry if you misunderstood me there.
Yeah.
Goodness me. Yeah, that juice that you're drinking is
I'd love to
definitely.
visit Scotland. That's one of the places I need to visit. I'm really dying to visit.
I've
I've been
been
to
to
Norway.
Edinburgh.
I've been
Edinburgh's
to Norway.
great.
I lived in Denmark, so I've been to Norway. But Scotland, I'd like to visit Scotland.
Yeah, I do suggest Edinburgh Castle for sure. There, I think I discussed that briefly before. Yeah, and Scotland's a great country. Absolutely. And of course, it
Yeah.
has its independence now from somewhat from the British government as well. Hmm.
Well, isn't the British government from Scotland? I mean, isn't like the base of the crown from Scotland?
Very possibly. Can you still hear me, Jimmy?
I can hear you. You're out, but yeah. So
Good,
yeah, I can hear
because
you. Isn't like the British crown like was it what is that stone under the chair, the throne? What is it called?
you'll have to remind me. We've had an incredible technical thing going on here at the moment, so I'm afraid you're only going to have to listen to me and not see me for the moment. Yeah. You throw the technicalities here have definitely thrown everything out, and that
We're
means I
doing
can't answer
great.
the question
We're
now.
doing
Well,
great.
we were until we had a power outage here.
Yeah, you're having a power outage?
Yeah,
Are you serious? So you're working on battery power right
absolutely.
now? Is that what it
If
is?
if
Backup?
I wasn't, you see, if I wasn't, that's the one advantage working on a rather than a desktop, a laptop computer or a tablet or a mobile device, is that while it's plugged into the AC mains electricity, if it does go, you can of course recover. Well, you just continue to broadcast because the
Okay, here goes. Here goes. The
power
stone
goes
of
on
Scone. This
battery.
the stone of Scone, also known as the stone of destiny. That's what he's saying. The coronation stone.
Hmm.
What the hell is that? It's just a fucking stone. It's like a block of red sandstone. It says right here. So what the hell? This is what's controlling your country. A piece of sandstone.
Maybe, maybe could well be, huh?
Yeah. Was it? Yeah. So would they? It's in England now, but they stole it from Scotland. Is that what the big deal is? King
Uh,
James united the crowns of Scotland and England, and he was Scottish. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, now you
you're
got a
gonna
bunch of Germans in there, right? The Habsburgs.
okay.
Isn't that what it is? Like, isn't what the British crown now? There's like a bunch of Germans, right? A bunch of
Yeah,
Bavarians.
Greek in there as well. Remember from yeah. There you go. You see, you're getting working it all out there.
It is the stone. Okay, wait, Joe says it is the stone on which ancient kings were crowned. Yeah, so they were coronated in it, coronated on it. It was I guess under the chair. I'm just wondering what the hell is the stone. It's got to have a. I got to read up on it. There's got to be a deeper history. It's not like just a stone. Like, hey, here's a stone. We're gonna use this for coronation. It must have it fell out of the sky or something, right? The Windsors are Germans, yes. The Habsburgs, is it? The Windsors is basically they're the Habsburgs, aren't they? Changed their name from Habsburgs to Windsors. Yeah. So, yeah, traitors. It's you got traitors in there, basically on the crown. Not traitors, invaders. That's what you got, invaders.
Are you sure about that? Is that your final answer?
I don't know. You got to tell me. You're the Brit. You
Well,
tell me. I'm just
well,
going on like limited knowledge. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Like it is believed to be Jacob's pillow, the stone, Jacob's pillow.
not pillar. Yeah.
No, pillow. He's saying Jacob's pillow. You're talking about is this of Jacob of what? Jacob of the Bible? Is that what you're talking about? Jacob of the Bible? So basically, is this a stone that they brought from Israel? Is that what you're saying? So is this like was it the first Templar Knights and the first Crusade? They brought that. Is that what is The biblical Jacob. Okay, I have no idea. I'm winging it here. I'm not really sure. I know I got a Bible sitting here somewhere, but I can't remember the exact story here. So they brought the stone from Israel. Is that what it is? Jacob. What Jacob, son of Abraham. Abraham. It was it. Wait a second. The religions are based in yeah. I think that's something like that. So you're talking about very old biblical history. I think going back. Let me check this out.
I think that you need to do a bit of research, definitely.
Okay, yeah, here goes. Jacob, also called Israel, Hebrew Israel, Arabic Israel, Hebrew patriarch, who was the grandson of Abraham, not the
Uh-huh.
son, the grandson of Abraham, the son of Isaac and Rebekah, and the traditional ancestor of the people of Israel. Stories about Jacob in the Bible begin at Genesis 25:19. Wow, so
Ah,
you're talking about what you're talking about Genesis, so you're talking about before Moses, so it's got to be what? 4 to 8,000 year old stone that was in Israel. I'm thinking I'd have to read up more about that. I'm not too familiar. I can't say I am a Bible scholar. So what is he saying? Joe says you should read the Declaration of Arboroth. Okay, I'm gonna make a note of it in my browser here. Declaration of, and I'll be looking into that. Thank you very much, Joe. I'm always
seems
looking
to know
for,
his stuff there.
yeah, and I'm always looking for, was it a fun things to look for? The Declaration of
Uh-huh.
Arboroth is a name usually given to the letter dated 6 April 1320 at Arborough, written by Scottish barons and addresses to the Pope John the 22nd.
Mm.
Okay, so we have to look up that letter. I guess and you're telling me that is related to something about the stone and Egypt after the Egyptian princes and said to have it traveled from Syria. Yeah, I mean, I've actually read up on that, and actually, was it a lot of I guess that Egypt has a big connection to, was it to England through the Roman Empire. So a lot of people of Egyptian descent are in, was it and Roman descent are in England. Of course, the Roman, we know about that, but obviously the Romans and the Egyptians had a big connection there.
Better connection than I've got at the moment with this power outage that we continue to have. But I'm working on it.
Yeah,
Stage
well,
one completed, Jeremy. That's crazy. It's always there's always something to keep us on our toes here, and right now that's it.
not England.
Unbelievable.
What did he say? He says what? Not England at all. Okay, yeah. Well, not England at all, because you're talking. Was it Joe? I'm like talking to Joe, which everybody. I'm talking to Joe, which is just messages or comments from YouTube, just so they know what's going on. So Joe's saying not England at all. Yeah. So I'm thinking the original, was it English is what they're talking about, the Celts and the Scots and the Druids,
Oh
and
yeah.
mixed with the culture of the Egyptians and the Romans, if I'm not completely mistaken, right? Wasn't it Caligula that went up to, was it the edge of he went up to the edge of France? Wasn't it France? Was it to say that he had battled England? But it actually, the Romans, they were in England. They traveled by way of Spain, then Ireland. Yeah, yes, exactly. So I know that a lot of like the Irish, was it folklore, and Celtic, was it stories, fortune telling, like card reading, tarot. All this stuff is coming via, was it from originally from Egypt, and then coming full circle in Ireland and Scotland, and then England. Yeah. What was that guy I was doing a lot of listening to? I think he was Irish. was a very
Um,
interesting character. Recent person. Uh, Michael Tsarian. Michael Tsarian. Is he from Ireland?
I'm not sure, Jimmy. You're speaking a different language to me now. Yeah,
Well, I think Joe would know who he is if the way he's talking about
right.
what he's so knowledgeable about this. Um, yeah. Okay. Alternative historian and author Michael Tsarian is an expert on the occult history of Ireland and America. Born in Ireland, he has researched mythologies of the world as well as his own country's magnificent and mystical druidic history. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, you don't have to believe everything this guy says, but he's done enough research. You know, it's every person that you listen to that has done research, whether it maybe was it Eric, was it Michael Tessarian, or if it's what was his name? Eric Eric Von, was it what was his name? Daniken. Eric Von Daniken, or whether it be, was it I'm trying to think of some other names here.
You're doing good, Jimmy. You're doing good.
Who's the other one? The not the guy from Lithuania. What was it the Sumerian author. He writes about, it was an author. What's his name? Man, I can't remember. Zachariah Sitchin. Zachariah Sitchin. All these people, like, they have a lot of great knowledge that they have researched and dug up, but there's always some like holes in their story, of course, because they're researching and digging up ancient history. So
Right.
obviously they cannot be 100% correct. But a lot of people, Chariots of the Gods, that's right, Eric von Daniken, yeah. So yeah, uh, of course there's going to be some holes, but it's not enough of holes to sit there and somebody sit there as a keyboard warrior and say, yeah, this guy's was it a hack, or this guy's like false, or this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, he's a kook, or and that's what they call them, conspiracy. These guys have spent their lifetime researching the history of our civilization. And so yeah, there's some holes, and a lot of them don't match, but a lot of it is really good. Was it really good work they're doing? Really good work, and Michael Tsarian is one of them. Yeah, Chariots of the Gods. That's it. Joe, I forgot about. I couldn't remember that. That's the Eric von Daniken. So I think he was the one who did a lot of research and talked about the Nazca lines.
Jimmy,
You
you're
familiar
talking a
with it?
different language to me now, so I'm glad that someone else knows what you're talking about, and hopefully the viewers on the replay too. Just
No,
saying.
is it a different language? We're
Well, yeah, it
talking.
certainly is when
We're
I
talking
have
about.
all these. Uh huh.
We're talking about the history of the world,
Right.
the history of planet Earth.
Did you notice that I'm back in vision now? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, and I'm liking your lighting. It's a very warm
Well,
frontal light.
I'm on a backup camera now because the original camera, it's very strange, but perhaps doesn't want to acknowledge that the camera is still connected. The original one, it's just a blip because, yeah, it won't re-register really with the software and the. Um,
The lighting is great. The lighting is great.
oh, good, good.
Yeah,
We'll remember
it's a
that.
very warm light.
It is, it is. I had the option of one or the other, and I chose the warm one. And how's your glass doing? Is that warm?
Graham Hancock. Wait. Hancock. Graham
Hancock, sugar of
Graham
Hancock is
Hancock.
very good.
Graham Hancock. Blah. So wine speaking. Graham Hancock
Again,
is pretty good. Yeah, he's good. He's good. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm into all that stuff. I'm into all that stuff. I've read up, watched, listened to all of it.
Sounds like another totally different broadcast that you could get your teeth into there.
Well, the thing is that I'm like, my knowledge is so limited because it's just like touch and go on everything.
I
Is
don't
like,
know about that. I mean, as I said, it's a different language to me, so you know. But yeah, as I say, we can certainly title or even headline one of our broadcasts as such, and have a little chat about it with other people that may know more by joining us here. But you know what? It's 11 minutes past the hour as I say this.
and you want to end it there because it is that time.
Well, kind of, but we've been broadcasting for a frightening 90 minutes almost. And with all the technical glitches that I'm looking before me now. I'm thinking it's probably safe to do so. But yeah, I mean, it's surely time for bed for you soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. This is my, the day before my holiday, but it's not true because I have work in
Mm.
the morning.
Well, you do have, a little rest tomorrow. I'm assuming because it's Saturday for you already. It's gone midnight now in Nagoya, Japan. Although here I
Yep.
still have plenty of Friday afternoon and evening to live and work at. But yeah, have you got an early start Saturday morning?
I have a 10 o'clock lesson. If people don't know, I teach English in Japan. I don't even
Right.
speak English very well, but I do teach English in Japan. Uh, Basic grammar, which
Right.
it's very funny that I was horrible at grammar or understanding grammar as a child, but when you actually teach it,
Yeah.
is it when you teach is that's the point where you actually understand and learn things.
Certainly, yeah, things that you didn't know before, like a semicolon, for example, as well as obviously the pronunciation of words and other words and things like that. But punctuation, definitely, yeah.
That's
But
right.
yeah. Listen. I've got to muddle through this power outage. As I say, I've got to. I can see all sorts of things flashing before me. Nothing too drastic, but as I say, for me, I'd be out of this totally if it wasn't for the fact it's a really good reminder. People say to me, "Why are you using an internet connection that's not hardwired?" Well, if it was hardwired, it would be going to the router, which has also failed at the moment, and it's in a completely different part of the building here. I don't even know if I've got immediate access to where it's currently located, bizarrely. But the point is, because we have these, we're on more than one connection. We're using a bonding technology, as you know, we've touched on that before. So that's how we've continued here. I guess the worst case scenario is I could have hopped onto my mobile digital device, my cell phone, and gotten in that way on 4G, 5G, etc. But yeah, there you go. And even battery powered lighting, as you've picked up on as well, Jimmy. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm digging this lighting. You should use it more often. You look a lot warmer. You look
It's
happier. You look so
happier.
depressed.
Happier. Yeah, I hear what you did
Happy.
there.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, you look so depressed when we started the show. You look kind of like it's like you got this like a warm glow now.
Yeah, that's good because it's funny you should say that because I'm certainly going to have a warmer glow in the next couple of weeks than I've had in the past 2 weeks. Oh, I must just say this to you as well. I've had a couple of like my cell phone company. They kind of let me down. They did make some serious errors. They've tried to correct them. They're almost sorted now. There was the vehicle accident that I had just over 2 weeks
Did you
ago.
get your car?
Uh,
Did you get a new
that
car yet?
no, we haven't. That's what we haven't figured out yet. And I'm telling you why, right? And no joke. I said to myself, "Wait a minute, is Mercury retrograde?" Now, just to let me finish,
Don't
because
get a car. Don't get a car. Mercury
a few
retrograde. We all know
years
that.
ago, I was getting more into all that,
Bye,
just
Joe.
reading up on that stuff, and I realized, wait a minute, Mercury retrograde, which it was at the time, meant that could be why communication at the time wasn't ideal. And
Absolutely.
things, yeah. And they say if Mercury is retrograde, and I think what that means is, correct me if I'm wrong, it means that when we actually see Mercury currently
It
from
looks
where
like
we are,
it
it looks
looks
like
like it's
it's
going
reversed.
backwards,
Yeah, it looks like it's
but
going
it's not.
backwards.
It's just changing direction. It's not.
But
It's
when
not.
but when that happens, when it comes to things like signing a new contract for your rent, for your housing and accommodation, or if you're going to enter into a new mortgage to buy a property or a vehicle, as we were saying there, or a new cell phone,
Electronics, machines,
I'm
electronics
telling you.
affects that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, now you know why there was a power outage today. Boom, boom.
Yeah,
But yeah,
is Mercury in
incredible.
retro? Mercury in
So I
retrograde now?
looked at it literally in the last 48 hours online, and Mercury was retrograde. It started on the 30th or the 31st of January, if not the 1st of February, and it finishes on February 20. We're now on February the 12th, and so we're kind of midway there. So I was almost taken aback when I realized, you know what? What with all the things that have gone wrong here recently and sent to try me, I don't think it's a coincidence that Mercury is, as I say this, currently retrograde. February 12th, 2021. How about
February 12th. That's right.
there you are. Well, hopefully it
One
won't
day
affect
after the
the
11th.
rest of that glass if it's not already empty. Or is it
Yeah, I'm
already
getting there. There's no problem.
yeah,
There's no
good.
problem finishing that.
Thank you for joining me, Jimmy. Thank you for allowing me to join you, kind of, because you can hit the magic button again. I think that's what we're going to do. You hit the magic button once we say goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone and say thank you very much for watching.
Which magic button am I hitting?
Well, the one for the titles, Jimmy.
Oh,
For our wonderful titles.
are we doing the same titles again? Is that we're going
Yeah,
in the way?
always.
Are we going out the way we came in?
Yeah, we usually do at the moment. Yeah, I might make some changes to that going forward. It might make some sense to do, but absolutely. So what we're going to do is press the little persona icon on the titles. There's a little bit of chaining going on here, right, Jimmy? A reminder. Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
We will. Thanks for joining us. Share, like, and follow, please do. I'll certainly be on and off over the week on haps.tv. So follow me at Martin Shine, please do. But also follow us here on at ShineCast. Thank you, Jimmy. Stay safe there, wherever you are, and certainly stay safe there in Nagoya, and enjoy the rest of the bottle.
See ya. See you on the other side.
Hold tight. Oh man! So now you got you talking at the end. That's cool. So we'll say goodbye to everyone on Haps now. If I press that, are we still there? Yeah, we're still. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining us there. Thank you. Bye bye. Ta ta. All right, do that.